Welcome in. I'm Joseph Stevens. I am a band director, composer, and arranger in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I'm really excited to bring you guys a brand new segment series entitled Battery Arrangement 101. First two things, I do have a speech impediment, so there are times where I may stammer or stutter. And secondly, these are my methods and ideas and thoughts, not at all the end all be all of how to approach this topic. Simply my do's and don'ts, my tips and tricks of how to write for the battery ensemble. So, all that being said, let's get right to it. So as you can see on the video title, this first installment will be geared towards the 5 functions of the battery ensemble. And these functions are honestly kind of the same functions as you would give towards a drum set player who is leading a band, whether it's a jazz band, whether it's a funk band, what have you. What 5 functions are they trying to accomplish to give the band, or for our sake, the ensemble, the best chance of success? First is pulse center, so just giving the tempo for a general phrase. Next is going to be supporting the winds, and that will be vertically and horizontally. And nextly will be a stylistically correct groove. We also have transitions and lead-ins into new ideas and new hits or new phrases. And lastly will be exposures or cool things or cool licks or flashy things. So to showcase these 5 functions, I have for you an example from my 2019 fall show from my high school. And in this phrase, we have first a trumpet feature, followed by a full ensemble moment. Then we have these stabs here from the winds and from the front ensemble. So here's a full phrase minus the battery percussion. Again, first, only trumpets. 8th note bass, full ensemble hit. Got some long tones in the tenor and bass voices. Cool little groove here in the woods. And into the impacts, stabs. Space here for the battery. Then impact. Awesome. So, 5 functions. First one is going to be our pulse center, everyone. Pulse center. So, where is the time coming from? The battery. So, as you will hear in a second, very easy parts for the battery. A very easy groove here. 8th note bass jam. Cymbals on 2 and 4. Out on the quads. Again, all 8th note bass, giving a clear tempo. 2, 3, 4, 1, the very end. Okay, so again, a very clear pulse center. Next thing is supporting the winds. So that really is just trying to highlight their parts. So in this section, again, very 8th note bass for the higher voices. And we have these these long tones for the bass and tenor voices, and then we have the groove from the woods. So again, a very 8th note bass groove is a very appropriate medium for this first phrase. And in this section, in the stab section, all those stabs are supported with the battery. So you hear it, as you will hear now. Okay, so all that again is supported through and through with the battery ensemble voice. Next is going to be a correctly styled groove. So this section here makes sense to have a groove because the wind and front parts are very vertically aligned, somewhat in a dense fashion. So the battery can just stay back here and give a very simple tempo source while playing a very cool groove, and then come in with some more exposure and some more flash, if you will, in the next section. So here is just the battery during the groove, during this first little phrase. Again, very simple. Okay, and with this very kind of a modern style or modern parts, if you will, in the winds, again, it's a very appropriate groove. Cool. So this definitely sounds like something that a drum set would fit into. Awesome. Next thing, lead-ins and my transitions. So coming from the turn the feature into the full wind section, we need some glue. So this glue will just simply be a snare solo. Easy money. And in that solo, so with the lead in, it should still give the winds or the front or even the battery a clear tempo indication of here is the tempo. So this one we have 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? So again, it gives a very clear, hey everyone, here's tempo 3 and 4 and 1. So here it is from before the lead in. Okay? And definitely here because in this feature, even though we're in 4/4, it feels like it's in 3/4. So it's definitely important here to kind of correct how the brain heard the phrase and say, we're still in 4/4 and here is the next 3 beats. So here it is from the actual feature. Okay, and then going to the next phrase, again, we have another transition or lead in. So here's a very clear and cut, dry lead in. Very clear 3/4/1. Lastly, in this last section, again, there's some window of opportunity. So the battery can actually have an exposure after their somewhat plain phrase. So here is the battery parts for the exposure section with the stabs. And again, the end, 3 and 1 for the impact there. So there you have it. Again, the 5 functions of the battery ensemble: pulse center, supporting the winds, stylistically correct grooves, transitions and lead-ins, and finally, lastly, everyone, is exposures. So thank you for joining me for this very short video. Hopefully you really enjoyed it and you learned something new. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Thank you so much.